All right, let's jump right into today's explainer. We're diving into a fascinating exploration of what makes you tick. Specifically, we're looking at how identifying your personal aptitude is basically the ultimate key to both self-discovery and high-stakes success. We're going to start by mapping out how you can actually use this as a compass in your own life. And then we'll pivot to see how these exact same principles are applied at the absolute highest levels of government. So let's get into it. Right out of the gate, I want you to ask yourself a pretty big question. Have you truly unraveled your uniqueness? Because, it is so incredibly easy to just kind of drift through our education or our careers, basically doing whatever's right in front of us. But aptitude? Aptitude is different. It isn't just about what you've learned to do, it's about what you are fundamentally wired to do. Think of it as your baseline potential, just waiting to be tapped. So, Section 1, Why Your Aptitude Matters. This is really a journey of self-discovery. Imagine trying to navigate a dense forest without a map. Well, that's exactly what building a career feels like when you don't understand your natural inclinations. Knowing your aptitude actually acts as a compass. It totally removes the guesswork, allowing you to zero in on exactly where you should direct your energy. And honestly, that saves you years of time and drastically reduces your frustration. And identifying this aptitude triggers a pretty powerful chain reaction. We're looking at 5 distinct benefits here. First off, once you find your suitable career path, you naturally begin to discover your real strengths and weaknesses. And hey, knowing what you aren't suited for, that's half the battle right there. This honest assessment brings your hidden talents right to the surface. So instead of spreading yourself way too thin, you can focus your abilities on what actually works, which ultimately unravels your complete, unique professional identity, the whole shebang. Moving on to Section 2, the Civil Service Blueprint. This is all about aptitude in high-stakes roles. Now, let's zoom out for a second. If aptitude is a game changer for personal success, it is absolutely, literally non-negotiable in some of the highest stakes roles in our society, the civil service. Experts argue that anyone acquiring professional values in public service must possess a very specific triad of aptitudes: intellectual, emotional, and moral. It's kind of like a 3-legged stool. You remove just one leg and the entire structure of public service just collapses. Which brings us to Section 3. Means, behavior, and ends. These are the 3 pillars of public service. Okay, to understand how this actually operates in the real world, we can map these 3 pillars directly onto a public servant's daily life. And it is a brilliant psychological breakdown. Intellectual aptitude serves as the means, the rational engine used to actually get things done. Then, emotional aptitude dictates behavior, basically how they conduct themselves. And finally, moral aptitude focuses on the ends, those foundational values they are ultimately striving for. Let's look a bit closer at how these 3 interact. So, think of intellectual aptitude as the highly practical how of the job. It's means-oriented. Like when a major crisis hits, you definitely don't want a civil servant reacting purely on instinct, right? You need them to think rationally and act purposely to deal with their environment. Whether they are managing, say, city infrastructure or untangling incredibly complex policy. This is the intellectual baseline required to process all that information and execute the logistics. But here's the catch. You can have all the intellectual capacity in the world, and if you can't manage the people around you, you are going to fail in public service, period. And that is exactly where emotional aptitude comes in. It is entirely behavior-oriented. Think of it as the relational glue. It's what ensures effective professional conduct with colleagues, subordinates, and of course, the public at large. It's really all about maintaining composure and navigating the, let's face it, incredibly complex human element of governance. And finally, we reach the ultimate goal. Moral aptitude. Now this one is end-oriented because it dictates the entire underlying purpose of the work. It's built on these massive foundational values like justice, empathy, and compassion. Basically, you use your intellectual means and your emotional behavior to achieve a moral end. It's what ensures that civil servants perform their duties not just efficiently, but truly effectively in the name of the public interest. It is just a stunningly comprehensive way to look at human capability. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want you to turn this whole framework back on yourself. We've just seen how this rigorous blend of intellectual, emotional, and moral aptitude protects the public interest in high-stakes roles. But take a look at your own matrix for a second. What is the end-oriented goal you are driving toward? Are you just using your intellect to get by, or do you have real foundational values guiding your ultimate career path? Identifying your aptitude isn't just some fluffy career exercise, it is literally the blueprint for your impact on the world. So, what will your impact be?